Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. While I was on the course of holidays, my vacation, there was a Facebook post that happened. That's the spark for this video today. Mario's on vacation, so buy the pre-sales or he gets back. I know this was surely in jest. It was a funny haha. But it did spark some interesting conversation, such as who cares about Mario, and then we have it's crazy. Other memes, it's crazy. It's crazy. Blaming pro play games. Always crazy. Just crazy. People keep blaming pro play games. Oh man. Anyway, so the point here was that if you bought the pre-sale 1999 Dynamons, which we do know that someone did, well, you look like an idiot. You look like a very uneducated, dumb person. Now, what this begs the question, and I got a few messages about this. One of the questions I got was, why does this even happen? Why do these pre-sales, why are they allowed to exist? And I thought that make an interesting topic for a video. So today we're going to talk about the pre-sales. We're going to talk about why businesses and people do them, and then we're going to talk about the opposite, why people fall for the pre-sales, we're going to call it. And we're going to tackle every aspect of this, from the most basic elementary concepts to some more psychological concepts. It matters. It's all part of the economy, as it is. So let me know if you find this type of video interesting. Do like the video, do comment, do subscribe. And this is the kind of video that I plan on making more of when the podcast starts, because this is more podcasty material type of discussion. So if you like this, let me know. You can also feel free to comment if you agree with many of my points, disagree with many of my points, or whatever. And before I get started, this is not a slam on Tyrannomon or Dynamon the deck. This is not a slam on that. I made my position on the deck clear. There's a few people in my comments section that are hassling me because I think this deck is garbage. It's okay. This video is not about Dynamon per se. This video is about the pre-sales. So let's start with the very basic point. Let's start with point number one. Why do stores do it? I'll tell you why they do it. And I'm going to illustrate it with this nice little spreadsheet that I made. This very basic Google sheet. So I'm trying to use US prices. Just very, very raw prices, no tax, nothing. Let's say that a store spends $60 US to purchase a box from a distributor. I think it's close to that. I have no idea. I'm a Canadian, eh? So that's what they pay per box. Let's say the store were to crack open this box. So they have a choice, right? They can choose to sell the pre-sales, make up their own prices, and try to make some value for them. Or they can wait to list the singles after release. By the way, this is your typical core set box. So like these are your 7 super rares up here. These are your 2 alt-art spots and or secrets. That's how I divided this up. So let's say that this is what your box is worth pre-sale value. This is what your box is worth after release. Okay. So with pre-sale prices, you essentially sell the big hits in the box for $190. And then if you take away the $60, your profit is $130. Whereas if you were to wait till release day to post and do all this, well, your box is worth approximately $98. These are rough numbers. And then minus 60, your box is now worth $30 profit. This does not keep in mind any shipping expenses, top loaders, stuff like that, tracking, whatever. Tax doesn't include any of that. These are just raw numbers that you should always incorporate those numbers, but just for the sake of the example, this is where we're at right now. So you might think about this particular example here. You might think, well, $38 profit isn't really that much. And then on top, you do add the shipping. You do add all that extra stuff, the expenses, the people you got to pay to ship the product. It eats up in your $38 profit. Whereas if you have $130 profit to work with, you have a lot more wiggle room and you're walking away with a lot more profit. So it's basically just corporate greed. That's what it is. But the rationale is I want to grow my business. I want to pay my employees. I want to pay my $4,000 a month giant rent like some of these massive stores have. I want to be able to maybe walk away with a Christmas bonus. I want to walk away with more money in my business's bank account so I can continue to expand and whatever. The pre sales allow a very accelerated route to that if you participate in the pre-sales. That's why the stores do them. And I wish that stores would just not do them. Unfortunately, you take a website like TCG Player does get their cut. So TCG Player will allow all the pre-sales in the world, right? Because why not? And if they, enough people do pre-sales, they get a significant percentage, right? It's just math. I don't know what the math is because I don't have TCG Player, but it's profit for them, just for existing, just for hosting the platform where stores can do this, right? That's why businesses do them, and to an extent, that's why card vendors do them. There are card vendors that will go at like pre-release season, like the week and a half before the set comes out. They'll get their cases from their LGS, and then they'll crack them open, and then they'll sell at pre-sale prices for the same reason. They want to grow. They want to grow their vending expenditures. Maybe they want to pay for themselves for a nice little vacation. Maybe they want more money to, get a down payment for a mortgage sooner. It all comes from that mentality. What's the quickest way to go from point A to point B? And the answer is pre-sales. Subjectively speaking now, is it scummy? I think so. And this is going to lead into the reasons as to why people do buy the pre-sales. Why someone that might see this, why they might cave and just do it. This is where it gets messy, because why a business does it is very straightforward, very calculated. But why a person would participate is, a whole spectrum, right? So let's start with a really easy one. Simple lack of education on how cards work. I saw this a lot in Lorcana when I was a major player in the Lorcana space, being the Market Watch guy over there. Sometimes people, this is their first time around in a card game, seriously, right? Or, second time around or whatever. These new people might not know how the pre-sales work. Some people just don't know that when the set comes out, the cards will usually go down, as a general principle. Some people just do not have that knowledge because they don't possess the means or care enough to find that knowledge. So they see a store like this offering this and they say, oh, this card is this expensive already? Holy shit, it must be top tier insane. I better get my copies today. And that's what it is. That's one reason. Some people just don't know. It's been my mission doing market watches for the last 4.5 years to get the news out there that you don't buy the pre-sales because you can just wait till release day and do better. You don't get priority because you buy the pre-sales. If you still use TCG Player, they should still be shipping out your product the day of. I don't know if stores on TCG Player are allowed to break that. If they are, tell me. I don't know. I'm not a TCG Player guy. But it just comes down to lack of education at the end of the day. It was one reason. One reason. Another reason why is because people think they're going to win. What do I mean by that? Well, there was a person in my comment section on the Monday Market Watch, who said, I'm glad I bought the pre-sales because I picked up a few Gallantmon-related foil cards or whatever in EX8, and they went up. Those are like the Growlmon and stuff like that. So here's the thing with that. The not buying the pre-sales is a general rule that you should follow. Yes, you can attempt to play the game. You can. Sometimes you'll win. Sometimes you'll lose. Me, I'm not interested in those kind of games. I like solid, consistent income. So would I rather spend my money to make my profit with a 95% accurate method or with a 5% accurate method? The correct answer is the 95% all the way. I'm not relying on maybe the foils not going up. And now someone in the comments might say, "But Mario, how could you not think those foils would go up?" That's valid. You are entitled to your opinion, and your market research might indicate you being correct. That's fine. However, I do believe to be more consistent to just follow the same pattern, set after set after set after set after set, throughout various card games as well. It's just never let me down, because mathematically it will not let me down. Why spend your money on the pre-sales when you can just wait? Right? Make sense? So that's a reason why. People might think that they know the system and they're going to win. And maybe they do. But you don't always. And that's a very important point, right? Another reason why people might buy the pre-sales is because, as I mentioned earlier, they think they might get the priority, right? They might think, "Oh, better get this now. Better get this now before, there's none left on release day." And again, that comes down to lack of education as well. Because on release day, everybody's opening their product. Everybody's listing their singles. But people might not know that, right? So again, it's a matter of lack of education, whatever. Then you have some people who just don't care. People maybe make a lot of money and they just don't give a fuck, for lack of better terminology. And they'll say, "Yeah, you know what? I'll buy the pre-sales. I'm doing well. I don't really care." Well, then, okay. Those people deserve to get robbed of their money. You know what I mean? Like, if they're just going to be like the lazies, and they acknowledge that it's going to go down in price, but they choose to do it anyway because that's the way they want to spend their money, let them. Those are not the people whose minds you're going to change, right? It's just not going to happen. These people are going to just live their life, spend the money the way they want to spend it, because they make it. And that gives them their entitlement to spend it however they so choose. And that's fine. If that's the way they want to do it, let them. Just let them do what they want to do, right? And, I don't think I'm missing any other major reasons as to why people will participate in buying the pre-sales. I think I got them all. And look, at the end of the day, I'll be here until I'm not here anymore saying, don't buy the pre-sales. And you see in the Facebook post, and you see on Facebook in general and Discord, people talk about it all the time. The knowledge is there. People know that it is cheaper to wait. 99 times out of 100, it's cheaper to wait for release day. People are aware of that. However, it's important to get the message to these people otherwise, right? Stores shouldn't be able to just get away with milking people for the pre-sales, right? I don't do the pre-sales. Yeah, I do a few hours before the Friday the set comes out, depending on what time zone you're in. But then I'll also give a discount to the viewers to make up for it. Like, that's better than week in advance, 2 weeks in advance, the pre-sales. Like this. Like, who in their right mind? This is just an example of greed. This Dinomon is greed. That price is greed. And there's no other way to put it. It is just simple greed. This should not exist. My mission is to get this out into the aether, to get the message out in the aether about not buying the pre-sales. Because if we could ever live in a world where the amount of people who buy the pre-sales, at least in Digimon, becomes significantly reduced, good. That's good. That's a win. And, stores can work a little bit harder and make money. They can do that, right? I work hard. I make money. I don't have to rely on the $20 Dinomons to pay my rent. I find other ways to pay my rent. And yeah, sometimes it's a little bit draining. Absolutely. But it's the way it is. Because we're not taking advantage of uneducated people. We're just doing what we're doing. We're doing right by our customers. And That's what customer service is all about. So that's my speech on why pre-sales even exist in the first place. What do you guys think? Did you find this video helpful, insightful, entertaining, educational, or not? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!